What is up, everybody? It's Flash back with some more charts, another video. Today is Thursday, July 10. It's 11:36 a.m. Eastern. I just took about 26 screenshots for you guys and I posted them into this PowerPoint, and we're going to go through all these tickers today. If you guys want to join the daily membership on YouTube, feel free to do so. I go through most of these charts on a daily basis every morning at around 8 a.m. Eastern, delivered right to your members only YouTube inbox. So if you're watching on X, feel free to go over to my YouTube channel and hit join. But let's get into it. So today we're looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame. We're sitting at about 111 and change. It's kind of fluctuating between 111.5, 111.1, 111.2, but I think we got a key breakout here that is going to propel us to 150K plus over the coming days, weeks, months. At least that's how far I can tell right now. So this is on the logarithmic scale. If we look at it on the regular scale, guys, again, I know I say this every time, but this is just hard, sound, perfected money that is getting adopted by human civilization. You know, every day, every week, the Bitcoin network is growing stronger every single day. So it's represented by this power law, the power trend, which is really this core, bold green line that just goes up and to the right every single day. So every single day, the price of Bitcoin, the fair value of the power trend, of the power law, increases every single day. That's hard, sound money. Okay, if we zoom in, daily time frame, we have it on the line chart now. And I use this indicator, which is the distance percentage from the 30-day moving average, which is this yellow line, right? So this measures from a percentage basis how far above or how far below, how far stretched we are from the middle line, which is the moving average, right? So this can help us detect energy, momentum, direction, right, that we may or may not see in the price chart itself. So it's just an added bonus, right? So we have a key breakout. We got it yesterday on the 9th. And so I am expecting Bitcoin to advance higher because we have this breakout in energy, right? And then we also have the ADX indicator. Now this white line, when it's low, when it's below the 20 line, that is signaling to me that there is a powerful move kind of brewing, right? And then when it cracks that 20 line and goes up, that means we're having the move, right? And so if we want the green line to be above the red line, that means the bulls are in control. If the red line is above the green line, that means the bears are in control, right? So back here, the ADX was breaking up, a strong move is in the works, and the bears were in control here, right? So we had negative price action. Now it looks like the bulls are back in control, similar to as we were in mid-April. So if we overlay M2, this is an 84-day offset. I like to find the highest 30, 60, 90-day average or correlation. And so the highest of that average is 66.2%, and that's found on the 84-day offset. If we look at the price of gold pushed forward by 104 days, again, this is the highest average, 68.6%, that's found on the 104-day offset, right? So they both look pretty good. Bitcoin's kind of taking its time following the M2, following gold, but when we overlay them both together, again, we just got to have some patience here, but it is still trending, guys. So I know, people are getting impatient saying the M2 overlay doesn't necessarily work. I think it still is, right? It's just taking its time. So this is the command center, as I'm calling it, right? And I review this every day for the members. But we got our breakout with the energy, and then these other lines are the M2 overlay. This is the rate of change of the M2, and this is the rate of change of the price of gold, again, pushed forward. So it looks like the rate of change remains positive throughout the summer, and now it's kind of flatlining here, both M2 and gold. So keeping our eye on this on a daily basis, again, for the members. If we get a breakdown here, I may consider that a local top for Bitcoin, as the rate of change, if we're following the M2 and of gold, is now going negative. So this is later this year. Now, if we overlay MSTR, right, the pink line, again, just this is kind of just to show that Bitcoin and MSTR, they really go hand in hand. They're kind of like Batman and Robin. And I also want to talk about the ISM. And so this is from Real Vision. This is from Raoul Pal and Julian Battel. They had a YouTube video. But this is talking about the ISM, and they have their custom GMI Financial Conditions Index with a 9-month lead. So this is a custom indicator that they put together, the blue line. And this kind of leads the ISM. I think this is a mixture of like commodities and inflation and interest rates. I'm not 100% sure, but they found something here that leads the ISM, which is an approximate for the business cycle, right? And so when we think about the business cycle, whenever the business cycle, or the ISM rather, goes above 50, this 50 line here, that's when Bitcoin likes to have its really strong bull runs, right? And so then the ISM tops out and Bitcoin will roll over, again, in conjunction with the business cycle. It ebbs and flows with the business cycle. And that goes back to, I think, the power trend, the power law. There's more to it than just this mathematics and physics. I think it does go hand in hand with the business cycle. So as you can see, the ISM has really been flatlining. It's been going sideways, all while Bitcoin, more or less, has been pretty steady up and to the right in this consistent channel. And so we're going to keep our eye on this. We want the ISM to crack 50, and positive business cycle, I think, would mean positive price action for Bitcoin. And if we go back to this chart, Real Vision is kind of projecting that, hey, the ISM should soon start to turn up, right? So that's, again, we should see a positive business cycle, positive price action for Bitcoin. So if we look at some other ratios, Bitcoin measured in gold, for example, again, we're getting a key breakout here out of this cup and handle, this big accumulation, and I think we're just getting started here, guys. If we look at Bitcoin measured in silver, again, you have your accumulations, your cups, your handles all over the place with Bitcoin measured in silver. Looks really good. And then Bitcoin finally measured in crude oil futures, up and to the right. Bitcoin goes. I think it's a superior asset class. Again, hard, sound money getting adopted by human civilization. And then here is MSTR JV_finance. His name is Julius on X. He had the bright idea of putting some standard deviation bands around the M2 itself, right? So this signals to me, hey, we're in the -2 standard deviation, and with M2 kind of going to the moon, I think we should see MSTR again have some very positive, very sharp upwards price action. And if we look at MSTR on the weekly here, on the Heiken and Nishi candles, I mean, this doesn't look bearish to me, right? This looks super bullish, right? We're just kind of accumulating, kind of an inverse head and shoulders look and feel to me, cup and handle, if you will. Again, we're just kind of, I think we're in the midst of a breakout heading higher, right? And so when we bring in the MicroStrategist ballistic acceleration model, he's able to model, these green circles are prices of MSTR on a daily basis, right? And this middle white line is the price of Bitcoin. So there's a clear trend, there's a clear pattern here. As Bitcoin advances in price, MSTR should follow suit. Sometimes it's going to be below Bitcoin in that correlation. Sometimes it's going to be above and have a higher correlation and be a little bit more leveraged. It all depends on the MNAV and how Bitcoin trades, how the market's trading MSTR. So BTC price of 150K, estimated MSTR price at 1.1K. So I do think we have room to go higher here. And this is a little bit more enhanced on the daily. Again, if you draw this breakout line any which way, if you draw it kind of descending and with an angle, you can say we already broke out. If you draw a horizontal here, we're still trying to break out. So I also like to look at, again, the distance percentage from that 30-day moving average, and we're just poking our heads above here, guys. So that signals to me MSTR is in the process of breaking out. Here's the roadmap, right? And then we have our ADX kind of curling up here. We're expecting a bigger move that's brewing. It looks like the bulls are in control. So all looks really good, guys, for MSTR to continue higher. Now, when we think about MSTR measured in Bitcoin, this is really zoomed out, right? This is going back to 2017, 2018. And this just looks like, to me, a big Wyckoff accumulation, right? When we zoom into that upper right-hand corner, we have even a bigger or a smaller bull here, bull shape. And, we're kind of hanging on. We're outside of these orange bands. We'd like to be back within them. But again, when we zoom in, we have a breakout on that energy indicator, momentum. ADX is signaling a big move, and the bulls are in control, it looks like. So I think just patience here, guys. I am expecting a sharp, fierce move to happen for MSTR, especially when measured in Bitcoin. Now, when you think about if Bitcoin is going to go up pretty sharply, MSTR may just double that move. It's pretty crazy to think about. But here's some other ratios. MSTR measured in gold looks really good, looks really healthy. We didn't even touch the bottom of this channel. We're finding our way to the upside. MSTR measured in silver. Again, clear breakout line that we need to get above. And then finally, MSTR measured in crude oil futures. A little bit of a dip below this band, but we quickly found ourselves back in this channel and approaching this horizontal resistance. And then last but not least, we have MSTR measured to the NASDAQ. Again, more cups, more handles, more accumulations. I think this is all pointing to greener pastures for MSTR. And then lastly, we have a bonus chart. This is Metaplanet, 3350 is the ticker. And just kind of looking at the momentum, the energy, we had a breakdown, right? So Metaplanet is kind of struggling here to go higher. We're going to maybe take a little bit of a break. We want to see this kind of get more of a bullish look before I think Metaplanet is going to continue to the upside. So that's what you can kind of expect on a daily basis, guys, with the membership. I go through a bunch of tickers and find their momentum breakouts or breakdowns and help us position accordingly. So if you found value in this video, feel free to drop me a like, subscribe, feel free to become a member of the channel if you're interested. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. This is Flash.